For today's presentation video, I will be talking about the contrasting views of John Maynard Keynes and Frederick Hayek. So, John and Frederick were two important economists who had opposing viewpoints, particularly in the early and mid 20th century. Their opinions on government intervention in the economy and the role of markets were the most polarizing. For John, he was a Keynesian economics, and for his government involvement, Keynes favored strong government involvement in the economy, especially in downturn periods. He thought that government spending may increase employment and stimulate demand. And for the function of collecting demand, in order to preserve economic stability, Keynes emphasized the significance of controlling collection demand. He advocated for a higher government spending to boost demand during recessions and argued and urged lower government spending during inflation. And then focusing on short term, Keynesian economics frequently places a strong emphasis on short term measures to deal with pressing economics issues. And as for Frederick, he was Austrian School of Economics. He limited governments, which meant that Hayek was an advocate for limited government interference and was affiliated with this school of thought. He maintained that markets will distribute resources effectively if allowed to function freely. Hayek also placed a strong emphasis on the idea of a spontaneous order, arguing that for social and economic systems develop organically as a result of people acting on their own initiative and without the necessity for centralized planning. And some differences in policy recommendations. So, economic downturn. So, John believed that he was a proposal for intervention, that he thought the state needed to intervene and provide funds during periods of economic contraction, such as recessions. Since more money is being spent by consumers and businesses, the economy is seeing a boost in demand. So, and then as a governor, as a booster, according to John, government expenditure can stimulate the economy, provide jobs, and assist companies in weathering difficult times. As for Frederick, he contended that it was preferable to let the markets react spontaneously during economic downturns, even if doing so results in a brief period of an economic collapse. And for long-term health, he thought that letting nature make this judgment on its own, from free from government intervention, would eventually result in a more robust and healthful economy. The theory goes that the economy must cleanse itself of behaviors and that are not suitable. Another viewpoint was the government roles. So John believed that the government needed to take an active role in overseeing the company. That this suggested in order to preserve stability, the government should control and direct economic activities in addition to acting during downturns. Um, a common application of Keynes economics is the use of the fiscal policy or the spending of taxation as a means of reducing the cycle's fundamental ups and downs. And then as for Frederick, he also was an advocate for limited government. So for a less activist strategy, he thought the significant government involvement might have a unforeseen repercussion and like interfering with the economy's normal process. Frederick also believed that a free market, people would follow their own interests and establish a spontaneous order that effectively distributes resources without the need for centralized plan. And then last main idea was market mechanisms. Um, John believed that he recognized the possibility of market failures, which may result in problems like joblessness and unstable economics. And John also believed for like the need of guidance, so he maintained that in order to guarantee a more stable and just result, the government needs to intervene and offer guidance in these circumstances. And then as for Frederick, um, he thought that having faith in markets. So Frederick possessed a deep faith in the working of free markets. He thought that the decentralized decision making by people and companies acting in their own interests would result in effective resource allocation, and also being able to place great emphasis on the idea of spontaneous order, like we talked about, which is a natural emergence of the complex system fueled by individual interactions in the free market to devoid of central planning.